I'm Lucas Siegel from Comicbook.com. I am here with the legend, Kevin Conroy.
Good to
Kevin,
see you.
You have two very, very different Batman projects coming out here,
Yeah.
with Justice League Action and with Killing Joke. Do you approach the character differently? Do you approach Batman differently depending on the context of the situation?
I have to admit, I don't, because the audience is so familiar with Batman. They're so devoted to him. The Batman fans are very passionate. You have to be consistent. You have to be true to the character, no matter what situation he's in. And in The Killing Joke, it's such a dark, frightening place that he goes to, but it's the same character. In Justice League Action, it's that character, that same brooding, dark character, but in a more ridiculous situation. You know, there's still a lot of action in it and adventures in it, but there's a little bit of a more ridiculous side to it. So it opens itself up to a little bit of comedy, which I loved playing, and the audience at the screening really reacted well to. So you approach the character the same way. The situation he's in is different, you know, and that makes you react differently. But the character's the same.
You've been doing so much more long-form work with Batman of late, with the Batman Arkham games, with the film. What's it like jumping back into an episodic format, and even shorter with the 11-minute episodes?
Oh man, it's such a relief. I can't tell you,
because not having the 3,000 lines of video game dialogue.
36,000 lines of dialogue in Arkham Knight. 36,000 lines of dialogue.
Wow.
And you record them line after line after line after line alone, because the way the science of how a game is built, they have to have everything completely clean and separate. So you're alone for days at a time, 8 hours a day, line after line after line, trying to keep the character fresh, trying to keep the line readings fresh, trying to keep your voice in the right place, and doing it all with no feedback from Mark Hamill or Dietrich Bader or any other actors. You're doing it alone. And it's so hard. By the end of the week, I'm just dead. And it's not as fulfilling as acting in episodic shows, because those are like little plays.
Right.
And so you have the interaction with the other actors. It's so much fun. Games, the fulfillment is in seeing the game at the end, because they're fantastic. They're beautiful works of art, and you feel so proud to have been a part of them. But the actual process of building them is brutal.
And real quick, it's the 25th anniversary of Batman the Animated Series.
Wild?
When you went in and read for that character for the first time, any idea, even once you got cast, any concept at all that you're a quarter of a century later you'd be still playing this character?
No clue in the world. We didn't even know if the show was going to be a hit when it first started, because it was the first show painted on black. It was a very dark sort of film noir. It was aimed more towards an adult audience. There was a real question as to whether this would really fly. I had no idea. I'll tell you a story. When I first went in and met Andrea Romano and Paul Dini and Bruce Timm and Alan Burnett were the first creative team, I was kind of pitching myself, because I'd never done animation before. It's the first animation audition I had, first. And I went in and I said, well, what about Bullock? That would be a cool character to play. Or Commissioner Gordon. I can really do Commissioner Gordon. And they said, but don't you understand? We're interested in you for Batman. I said, yeah, but those other characters are such interesting characters. They said, but he'll be in every episode. This is Batman. I said, okay, I'll audition for that. So then I kind of used my imagination to come up with the voice that I did. But I was actually pitching myself for other characters, because I thought they'd be more fun to play.
There's an alternate universe where you're just Commissioner Gordon.
I know. This is Batman, and you're listening to Comicbook.com. I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman.